So how about if we practice a switch statement? I have my full program here with my header information in it. We're going to practice a switch statement. I'm going to write full pseudocode. We're going to treat this as a full program. So I'm going to write some full pseudocode in here before we actually start writing. So we're going to declare some variables. That's always a great place to start. After that, we are going to, let's display a greeting, because user interface and user experience is huge. It is big enough in the development industry that the computer science program has a sister program called Web UX, and user experience is huge. So we're going to display a greeting just to make our user feel good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to prompt for speed. Let me write a little bit more details on what our program is going to be doing. Not just practicing the switch statement, but we are going to, given the speed of the medium, tell the user how fast it is playing. There you go. So we're going to talk about this will be an oldie but a goodie. So we're going to prompt him for the speed of the record. And then from there, we are going to, and if I'm going to prompt him for the speed, we should probably read the input. We haven't done that before. And then based on the speed, we are going to tell him how fast it's turning. And we're going to do a switch statement with this, which means that my if statement might be, if they key in the number 33, that means that it is a long play vinyl album. If they key in 45, that means that it is a single. And then if they key in 78, that's obsolete. And you're saying to yourself, obsolete, you got to spell that right. Aren't the rest of them obsolete? I know, but I'm going to do that anyway. And so after we have done that, then we'll come down here and we'll have if I have a friendly greeting, we're going to have a graceful close, because it is never a good idea to just slam a number onto the screen and then program ends and they wonder what the heck happened, what happened. So instead we're going to close this off with a graceful close. All right, so we're going to circle back around and add a little bit of detail. Let me stop for just a minute and show you what we're talking about. So here is a picture in your presentation that says LP, which is the largest one, the 12-inch vinyl is long play. The 78 RPM is the 10-inch vinyl. The 45 RPM is the 7-inch vinyl. And it shows you a 5-inch CD across the top. So you can compare those with one another. All right, so let's come back up here. We're going to circle back around and add a little bit more detail. The first detail is the variable. I'm probably going to need a variable for speed, right? Since we're going to do this in a switch statement, right now I don't have my print statement, the results or the print statement. And so we're going to come in here and we're going to start filling this in. So I'm going to create a variable called speed. It'll be an integer variable. I'm going to display a greeting. That might say something like, I don't know, welcome to Songs Are Us. Something very exciting. I'll force a new line inside of there. We're going to prompt him for the speed. Apologies on my dog who is barking. And I'm going to say something like enter 33, 45, or 78. Oh, got to make sure 78. There we go. That looks better. And then we're going to read the input, which is a CN, and we called that one speed, right? So I'm just going to run it, see if it's working so far. Oh, let me put a graceful close on here. So my graceful close is something like, thank you, and have a great day. Something very user-friendly to usher them along their way. even though I should probably spell things right. I'm just going to run it and see if it's working so far. All right, there you go. I see my friendly greeting. I see my prompt. And then if I key in something here, it doesn't matter what I key in right now. It's going to have my graceful close. All right, I'll even change that to my friendly greeting because we do want to be friendly about it. I think that I might force a second new line in there just to kind of separate it. Let me run it one more time. Yeah, I kind of like that one better. So I'm going to put something in there, and then we're going to drop into a switch statement. Now, the switch. We're going to pass, the value that I'm passing into the switch statement is the speed. I'm going to put an end switch. So I'm going to put a label on my closing curly brace so I know who it belongs to. And then I'm going to come inside of my switch and I'm going to start inserting case. So it seems like the first case that I'm going to have is 33, right? So 33. And I'll tab that in, and we're going to say if the user keys in 33, I'm going to say that this is a long play, which LP, long play albums contain many songs turned at 33.3 RPM, revolutions per minute, and could play for 20 to 30 minutes per side. We'll force a new line inside of there. I think I have my per side. There you go. There we got it. Okay, there we go. All right, very good. So let me move this around so that we can see what's happening. There you go. I'm just going to run it and see if I key in 33 if something happens. There it is. So I'll force another new line inside of there because I can separate it from my graceful close. There we go. If I put in 33, life is working. So let's do my next case. Oh, but I don't want to forget something. If I say case, the next one is 45, did I forget something? Case 45. Did I forget something? Well, let's give it a try and see. See out. This time I might say something like 45s held a single song turned at 45 RPM, revolutions per minute, and could play for 3 to 5 minutes per side. I'll force a couple of new lines inside of there. Now let's run the program and see what happens. Let's run it. I'm just going to test. Let's test 45 and see what I get. There it is. There's my 45s. Let me scroll it back this way a little bit. I'm going to run it one more time, and I'm going to test 33 again. And what do you expect to have happen if I test 33? Holy moly. Not only did it play case 33, but then it also dropped into case 45. Why? Stop the program and then tell me why did it run 33 but then it ran 45. Yeah, you're right. I didn't put the break statement in here. So the break keyword is going to, if it drops into 33, then it will break at the end of 33. Let me run it one more time just to make sure that that worked. There it is. Which means that my 45, I probably also want to have the break statement inside of my 45. And then we have one more, which is case 78. Inside of here, we will see out. For 78, I might say something like 78's preceded LPs, long plays, and 45s, and turned at 78 RPM. We'll force a couple of new lines inside of there because we've already seen the new lines are helpful. RPM. And then I'm just going to tack, we do need the break here. And then I'm going to put the default, the optional default. Oh, you are so handy. There we go. The optional default at the end. On the default, I might say something like LPs were replaced by CDs. I don't know, do any of you still have vinyl? I'm going to force a new line there. And then I'm going to put one more statement here that says something like CDs spin at 500 RPM at the center of the disc, and then your hard drive spins at 54 to 7800 RPMs, revolutions per minute. And I'll force a couple of new lines after that one. And then let's run it and see if we have a full working program. So now if I put 78, it should tell me that they preceded that. I'm going to put something else like, I don't know, 85. And that should then drop into my default, which says LPs were replaced by CDs. They spin at 500 RPM, and your hard drive spins at 7800 RPM. Anyway, that is it for this section on branching. Now that we have completed this section on branching, it is your turn. What I'd like you to do is write a program that is going to generate a random number, and you're going to prompt the user to guess that number. You can use any kind of branching structure that you'd like to, but I want you to tell them if they guess too high, I want you to tell them if they guess too low, and I want you to tell them if they get it just right. The random number generator you can find in our Zybook for this particular section. It goes into great detail about how to generate a random number. I do want you to include a friendly greeting and a graceful close as well, as we did in the last try it out. As always, I want you to write the pseudocode first so that you map out a full plan to get the program done. I want you to include header information with your name and a description of the program. Remember, the name of the program is not a description. You need to have some kind of a casual description. And I also want you to include test cases. Remember, you need at least 3 successful runs of the program, and you need at least 1 unsuccessful run. Looks like you're going to be prompting the user for a number, and so an unsuccessful run would be an invalid value in that numeric prompt. I know it can be very difficult to do test cases with a program that has generated a random number, so your test cases can be creative, such as if the random number is this and they key in this, what is the outcome? The random number is this and they key in something else, what is the outcome? Anyway, so I look forward to seeing your program.